Have you ever been ghosted or flaked on? Ever received a fake number? Today, I'm going to show you exactly what you did wrong and how to fix it starting right now. I'm going to show you how to stand out from every other guy by getting to know the real her and no longer engage in surface level conversation, and also by doing it in a very subtle way. And the result is, she'll be thinking of you nonstop. Hello. Welcome to the channel. I am Professor Glow Up, where we talk about glowing up in every category based on actual scientific evidence, as well as give real practical tips and advice that you can apply immediately. In this video, we're going to talk about telling you exactly how to have a conversation with her and build respect, trust, and comfort. Well, she'll be eager to see you again, and she'll be thinking about you when she's with those other guys. Let's first diagnose why you likely got flaked or ghosted on. If we were strictly basing it on the conversation, you're probably asking either very surface level questions or deep questions that you jump to way too fast. You probably asked them about their favorite things like music, movies, colors, complete nonsense. And you hop from question to question like an interview without really diving into why they like that specific movie or song. Also, she didn't really reciprocate any questions to you. This may sound familiar. I know it is for me. You did not develop any chemistry. You talked about surface level topics, which makes you bland and forgettable. They'll give you their reflex response, which I will talk about later. No more. I'm going to teach you how to really develop a bond with someone, anybody, in a very subtle way. Here's how. First, picture the roots of a tree. You notice that you see the result of the roots above the surface, but you don't see the foundation that holds up that tree. I want you to view this like people. They may say they have a certain interest or belief, but there is a belief or cause that led to that belief. My goal is by the end of this video, I will teach you how to go from the tree to the lowest root available in a very subtle way. You cannot be obvious, as we know many people, especially women, are hyper aware and observant. You cannot go in like a psychiatrist and say, "Why did you want to be a teacher?" And they say, "Because I love helping others." Then you say, "Why do you love helping others?" And so on. We can't do that. Let's quickly talk about a front that a lot of people put on. What are fronts? We will describe a front as a personality they give off when you first meet them. It is common for people to not be their genuine selves when first meeting you, typically due to the reason that if they were to get rejected, you wouldn't be rejecting them. You'd be rejecting their front. A lot of people appear more confident. They could appear more ditzy, goofy. You get the idea? Most of these are fronts initially. So if you try to ask a deep root question, like, "Tell me the real you. What makes you cry? I want to get to know the real you," they'll answer your question that is congruent to their front. If that front is very rude, they'll answer in a rude way. If it's ditzy, they'll answer in a ditzy way. And also, if you're liking this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll continue to make more of it, as well as leave a comment down below what you think. Be careful though. A lot of people think that if they have a deep philosophical conversation or a deep political conversation, they're going down the roots, but they aren't. The reason is that the belief that holds up that philosophical or political belief may be completely different to yours. So there's no real bond there. I mentioned reflex response. What is that? Let's talk about it. A reflex response is the response to your questions that they don't even think about. They have gotten these questions numerous times and even have the same canned jokes, the stories, the mannerisms, all of it. You need to separate yourself from these reflex responses immediately. Let's bring it all together now and give you some real practical examples. Let's first give you an overall system on how you ask the question. Remember the triple R's: reflect, relate, respond. Reflect what they say, relate to what they say so they understand that you heard them, then respond to what they say. An example would be, let's say you ask her an inevitable question, like, "What do you do for a living?" They say, "I'm a teacher." First say, "That's awesome, you are a teacher," to show her that you heard her. Then relate by saying, "I always admired a teacher's work because they are so underpaid and really do mold these young minds. We always remember our favorite teachers when we are younger." Then respond with a slightly deeper question. Remember, we want to be subtle with, "Have you always wanted to be a teacher since you were like 13? She likely doesn't get asked this often. She probably gets asked what grade, what subject, how'd you get into it, or something similar, in which she goes into her reflex responses. This is how you will stand out. Make sure to always incorporate the past, the present, and the future into your conversation. You'll notice that people will think you are an amazing conversationalist, but you really haven't said much, nor are contributing much to the conversation. You're simply asking thought-provoking questions that actually make them think. Let's go back to the example. She actually thinks what she wanted to do when she was 15 and says, "Yes, I always wanted to be a teacher." Then you use the triple R's again and say, "From my experience, teachers need to have an unbelievable amount of patience with dealing with those kids, especially those that had a tough time learning. Have you always had that amount of patience, or did you learn it?" She thinks and says, "I had to learn it with the job. I always struggled with that growing up, actually." You can use the triple R's again. "I did too. I found that meeting people where they are at, rather than forcing them to fit a certain mold, was extremely challenging for me. Have you realized that as well?" She'll say, "Yes, definitely. That's crazy you say that. I was just thinking that the other day. And then you respond with, what other qualities do you think separate a good teacher from a bad teacher? And so on. We're getting deeper now, right? We're getting deeper in those roots. Now watch what happens when you go this deep. The fact that you're willing to go this deep, they'll begin to ask you questions about you because she sees you in a completely different light than most guys she has talked to. And you did all this in like 10 minutes, where it took her ex-boyfriend years to find out. This will stop that flakiness and ghosting because you are getting through that front and getting to know the real her. You can apply this format to any career, any hobby, interest, etc. In order to get to that point, you do have to learn how to start that conversation and get them to answer in an open-ended way. Make sure to check out how to start a conversation in my 7 hacks on how to never run out of things to say video down below. And once you get all 3 of these, you can bring it all together and you will be unstoppable. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.